All right. Welcome to the Iron Sharpens, guys. This is the Coach Miss Jackson, Senior Executive Vice President of Financial Education Services. Such an amazing time in our company, guys. If you are brand new, if you're brand new to financial education services, we want to say welcome to the FES family. We want to say welcome to the Momentum Society family. It is extremely a honor and a pleasure to be here with you on today. On tonight we are going to have a phenomenal time. We just came off of our wow March Madness. It's still March and it's still mad, but our official volume month of March 2018 with financial education services, and wow, has it been an amazing ride. I know if you got that text message that I did, obviously the proof is in the pudding that FES is definitely an opportunity where everyone who wants to be successful can be successful. I mean, to think about it, we had over 2,300 new promotions for the month of March. And all that means is that people are believing that they could actually take this spot at the top. With that being said, tons and tons of, leaders who entered into what we consider the vice president or the six-figure club. We're going to be rolling into that. We'll talk about that in a moment. And what that also means is that people are seeking financial freedom. All I can tell you is that financial freedom is going to mean something different to each and every one of us, For some of us, it may just be just releasing the crunch from the day to day or from check to check. It may be for some of us to be able to finally just take a family vacation. For some of us, it may be able to just sit down and in one stroke be able to write all of our bills for the month at one time. And of course, for some people, they may say, I want to live my dreams. I don't want to window shop at success. I don't want to have to window shop at somebody else's life. I'm ready to live my dreams. Financial education services is allowing people to do that through the power of financial literacy, helping people understand more about money. So important. Helping people understand more about credit. Super important, and more importantly, letting people know that they do have a right to have success here in the United States of America, and of course the governing territories. And so what we want you to know is that when we are here now in a brand new month, this means that we're officially in second quarter of the year. And once you approach into the second quarter of the year, that means that we have pretty much just 9 more months to go. We are already a few days in, and we don't want you to waste any time. Some people coming off of the 5-week month, they're like, okay, this is my rest month. No, it is not. It is time to turn it up. And this is why it's extremely important for you to pace to win the race. If you're brand new to our company, we have a powerful system at the Momentum Society.net website that you can go and learn more about how you can build business. But later on in this call, you're going to learn even how the company now is giving us to an opportunity where you are able to be a part of our FES success system coming out. And so on this Friday, you're going to see some things launching with our FES success system. We had a phenomenal call with our co-founder, Mr. Pedro Knight. And you're going to hear from one of our leaders on midnight on this past Monday called Midnight Madness. That was just crazy. It was just so fun. But you heard, and you were on that call, some very, very important information about our FES success system being launched here, coming here on this Friday. One of the things is going to be an opportunity overview that everyone will be able to use And so this is also where we're going to be, cohesive, getting on one page. You're also going to hear a lot more about different videos so that you can understand more about the compensation plan, understand more about how things work, because it is very much it's not a mystery that the people who understand more about the comp plan are going to make more money. And so this is going to help you have at your fingertips where you get to work from anywhere. It will not replace you coming in person to get the training, but it will also allow you to start making money, maybe getting your first win, getting yourself the field trainer, so that now you can start, investing back into yourself. You got to know, if you want to build a big business, you've got to eventually start investing money back into yourself. Don't ever think that your initial investment of under $300 is going to take you all the way to the top of our compensation plan. That's just unrealistic. And so, in a moment, you're going to hear from some people who have gone beyond. They've gone and they've invested not only their initial investment like every one of you have, but they started investing more time, more money, and guess what happened? They started getting more out of their their business, their opportunity here with FES. And so we got some VPs that are on the line, and we're going to be rolling into that as well too. I just want to give you a few announcements also before we go into listening and hearing from these crazy, phenomenal stories with our vice presidents. I need you all to know that we are going to be going on our company cruise, and, FES Cruise 2018. I know when people were told to go for it, they probably thought it was going to be a long time coming, and here we are. And people who were able to win, some tickets on this cruise, we're going to be heading out there for a week. And what you want to know is that before that, we want to make sure that the field has everything that they need. So number one, they have a great opportunity of getting on the cruise next year. And then number two, so that, everyone has exactly what they need to follow through and make April a phenomenal month for their volume as well. So we have two events on this coming Thursday, and that will be tomorrow. There is going to be the Super Thursday event in the Atlanta, Georgia area. It's going to be held at the same location that we have our every Thursday meeting at the Hilton Garden Inn. You want to go ahead and pack it out. But what's going to be special about this Super Thursday is not only you get to see so many of those people who were right before you in the meeting, who've now promoted, whether they promoted to, field trainers, senior field trainers, sales directors, regional sales directors, executive sales directors, or vice president and above. You'll get to see them, but then they're going to give you some training. So you want to make sure that all your new agents that are in the area, surrounding area, people are driving up from different areas to the Super Thursday in Atlanta happening. This is going to be on tomorrow evening. And then also the following Thursday, as we'll have our weekly meeting. But before that, we're going to be doing some team pictures for anyone who's in the Atlanta area want to come out. You want to have those team pictures. Make sure it's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do some pictures there. And then also the Friday. This is going to be the bon voyage. Right before we get on the boat, we're going to have a super huge, Super Friday event in the South Florida area. Many of those top leaders are traveling in the South Florida before we get on the ship bon voyage, but we're going to make sure that anyone in the South Florida area and surrounding areas are getting the same thing. We're going to have a phenomenal overview, then training right after by the top leaders. And so you want to make sure that you are in the spot. Now, we're going to hop right on in to our call. You want our leaders, you can press star and the number 6 to unmute yourself. Press star and the number 6 to unmute yourself as far as the leaders who are going to be speaking on tonight. I know we had a crazy shower of vice presidents, and they said 26 vice presidents, 12 regional vice president. By the way, if you're brand new vice president, you got to have $100,000 in sales volume for the month, and you have to have at least 3 sales directors, and then you have to also have a fourth leg at $10,000. This is huge. 26 people were able to do that, right? And of course, creating those first wins, those field trainers, is where it's all at. That's where it begins. 26 of those vice presidents, 12 regional vice presidents, people who did $250,000 in sales volume, and they have to now have 5 legs. And this is very important for you to download your compensation plan. And in that compensation plan on page number 9, it talks about your structuring, and this is where a lot of people probably get it a little wrong. 5. Now you got $250,000 in sales volume. All you need is 5 separate legs. We see people that are field trainers with 5 legs or senior field trainers with 5 legs. This is telling you need to now talk to your upline leader and communicate about structuring these legs. But at $250,000 in sales volume, this is where you're going to need at least 3 regional sales directors on your team, 1 sales director on the 4th leg, and then now a last 5th leg at $10,000 in sales volume. And then now we had 5 executive vice presidents. To become an executive vice president, your business has to do at least $500,000 in sales volume. 5 executive vice presidents. 5. That is just amazing. 5. And that executive vice president, you have to have, you notice, it's like 10% of whatever it is, at least 3 people on your team that is an executive sales director, at least 3 legs that have done at least $50,000 in sales. A regional sales director in your last leg needs to be a sales director. We had 3 people who went to senior vice president. 3. $1 million in sales volume, $1 million in sales volume, which, by the way, if you haven't already, you can click on the promotions tab in your back office and see the faces of all these phenomenal leaders at the senior vice president level. That is just absolutely ridiculous. $1 million in sales volume. You got 3 of those. We'll call out those names here shortly. And then you got 2 senior regional vice presidents. Senior regional vice presidents. To be a senior regional vice president, you have to do at least $2.5 million in sales volume. $2.5 million in sales volume. We have 2 of those. Two gentlemen who hit senior regional vice president. We're going to do a roll call. And you can go in the back office right now, click on the promotions tab, and you get to see who these gentlemen are. When you see it, you can say, wow, it seems impossible. These people are letting us know that it's possible. And 1 senior executive vice president, which is the top of our compensation plan. And all I need you to know is that whatever you do at the bottom, when you strive for 5, helping people get their first win, is what you need to duplicate all the way to the top. And so what we're going to do right now is I want to go on and, get our vice president team on the line. We have a ton of them. It was like showering vice presidents, And this is a very special call for me because when we first started our vice president group, it was very easy to know each and every one of them, to work with each and every one of them personally, directly. And that's not the case anymore. The leaders are duplicating. Teams are growing by wildfire. People who are showing up to events and trainings and things like that, who are looking up and saying, you know what, I'm going to enter that six-figure club. I'm going to get that car. I'm going to do this. and they're doing it. This vice president here, Latrell Ross. I need to know, are you there? Are you there, Latrell? Are you there? Let's see. Let's make sure that
yes, I'm here, Nicole.
Okay. You know, this gentleman here, I'm like, you know what, Latrell, we are very, very transparent on our calls and our team. And I'm like, you know what? I saw his face. I said, I've seen this gentleman. This is a quiet storm. I'm so excited for your success. I want to ask you a few questions here. How does it feel? How does it feel to be a vice president? How does it feel? Because I know you haven't been saying, I'm going to get here one day, but now you're here, and what does that mean to you?
It's surreal. It's amazing. I want to give thanks to your leadership. I also want to give thanks to God, because without him, nothing of this would be possible. Also, the amazing leadership of Anthony and Alice Jackson, as well as Ashton Henry. It feels amazing. It's like I still can't believe it. Something like this, you want to. What I want to say to people is that you want to surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people who want to see you win and be successful in life, not only just in business. Surround yourself with the Mike Jones so you can get around the Mike Jones and say, hey, how can I introduce this to 35 people in 3 weeks and help them change their lives as well? You want to get around the Nicola Jacksons, the Alice Jacksons, the Anthony Jacksons, the Tamika Jacksons, the Dominique Whites. You want to position yourself and get yourself around those people and learn and take everything positive from these type of individuals. And Nicola, one thing that I do on a daily basis, I believe in your mindset is key, and I believe in daily affirmation. So when I wake up, first thing I say is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then I apply that. I also tell myself I am enough, I am unstoppable, I am abundant, I am worthy, and I love myself. No one can love you more than yourself. So you got to also think about your why. My story is I got fired from corporate America. When Anthony Jackson told me about the opportunity, he didn't know that I just got fired from corporate America. I have 2 daughters. One of them had an asthma attack, and my manager told me I couldn't leave home. So I left. When I got home, as I'm pulling up, they're carrying my daughter out. Unfortunately, she passed away in the home. And that did something to me. So my why is my family. And you have to take that why and you have to surround yourself with individuals that are going to push you. Look yourself in the mirror, get to these trainings, and go for it.
Latrell, we train so often about how your story can definitely just fuel your whole business. And just to think that even right now, I don't know if people really heard what you shared, that you were working in corporate America. And just like your dynamic leader, Executive Vice President Anthony Jackson, too, was let go out of corporate America. There was a connection there, but at the idea that you were told that you couldn't go home. And when you did go home, it was something that was waiting for you that was totally life-changing and turning point for you and your family. And that's what's driving you. And to hear the passion that you have for people's life. I always tell people that their pain could truly, truly be, it always has been for me, the gateway to your purpose. And so you're opening up now the floodgates where for other people through your pain. And there are a lot of people out here that are in pain. Most people that come into this opportunity, they're in pain. They're having major challenges. They don't know how to get out. And if you discuss all of the leaders, you talk to all the leaders, they've been in pain and they've come out, or they're coming out, and they're helping other people out of that pain. And so you shared that when you went. How old was your daughter? How old was your daughter?
She was 10.
She was 10.
And people, what you want to This company is an amazing company. It's something blessing. It's a blessing. It's something that's changed my life, something that's changed my upline, Alisa Anthony Jackson's life, something that's changed Nicola's life, something that's changed Ashton Henry's life, Alfred Nixon, the LaDonnas, the Romeo Gangs, the Tyrone Wilburns, the Katrina Spears. There's something that is life-changing, and it's sitting right here. Faith without works is dead. So you have to make it a decision to go out and help change lives, attend the training, go to the seminars. Things like this are put in place to help you, not only financially, but mentally. This organization has changed my whole entire mindset. My entire mindset. So to be able to put something like this in place for others, not only the city of Chicago, it's mind-blowing. And like I said at the beginning of the call, Nicola, this is surreal. Like, right now, I still can't believe that this has happened to me. But I'm humbled, and I appreciate everyone, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart, because without FES, I wouldn't be here where I'm at now. Without Anthony Jackson finding Ashton Henry on social media, there wouldn't be no Chicago team right now.
Wow. We never know who life we're changing or saving when we share or expose our FES opportunity. And, this is just so surreal for me. I know that, even for me, I take it so serious, the opportunity that we have with FES. And many people may be only looking at, how much money can I make? And like I shared with people, don't chase the paper, just help people. People's lives are depending on this opportunity, the services, and I know you're helping some people out there right now. But just to think that it was just a turning point. A lot of people probably on the line is having their turning point to say, you know what, my life is not that bad. I'm complaining that I can't do my 5-5-5 formula. I can't share this opportunity with 5 people, just 5 times a week when someone might be out there, just like Charles Ross, who needs this opportunity, just like next to him needing oxygen, and then we may be whining or crying about, we got to go through no's to get to someone like Latrell. Gosh, I am so excited for your leadership. And I saw these new leaders coming in the vice president group. I said, wow, look at the Joshua generation, and leaders who will be able to take this opportunity by the horn to continue to duplicate. I began to just smile, and I'm not even going to lie. There's been multiple times this week that I'm driving in my car just worshiping, and I'm busting out crying, like my eyes are just so welled up at what God is doing through this organization, and even to hear you not be afraid to give it back to God. And this is the same thing that people want to suppress, and to hear that, I'm saying, my God, thank God I could hear you. Thank God that I wasn't afraid to be who you told us to be. And I'm so grateful even for your story on today, Latrell, because you've just blessed my soul. You've blessed my soul. And because I'm going to tell you, I would never, ever try to sugarcoat it. It's not easy being a leader, going against our odds, doing things that probably has never been done before. With that, there's always going to be some adversity or obstacles. But when I hear a story like yours, I know that it is so worth it. And so I thank you. I want you to share, Joe, what would you share for a brand new person on the line? I've been talking to, everyone's brought in tons of agents. I don't know, I think we had almost 6,000 or something. I don't know, something crazy number of agents that joined our team. What would you tell them, coming in the door? I know today I told one young lady, I never, ever kept counting the people like counting sheep. I just went out there and shared, just knowing with the expectation someone was going to need what I had. But what would you share with someone who's brand new, who's saying, you know what, how can I get there? Yeah, I am going through some challenges in my life, but I want to be successful, but I don't know where to start. What would you share with them, Latrell?
First and foremost, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is something that I teach my downline all day, every day. Another thing is be coachable. Go out to the trainings, attend the seminars, get your upline on three-way calls. Edification is a must. Learning a protection plan membership is a must. So you have to learn these services, learn these products like the back of your hand. Don't be afraid to be new. Be new. We want you to be new. I want you to call me, blow up my phone. My phone should be ringing at least 50 times a day. I don't mind. I don't care because I want you to be successful. Success leaves clues, and this right here is duplicable. That's all we're doing, creating field trainers over and over and over again. Field training is the foundation of this organization. So my tip would be new. Let the top leaders help you. Invite your prospect out to the seminars. Invite your prospect on to the conference calls, the leadership calls. Be new, soak in all of the information, and always remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And change lives.
Wow. Be new. You say be new even though I was successful somewhere else before. Be new even though, I probably have already made a lot of money before. Be new. One of the most powerful tips that you could ever give someone, Latrell, is what you just said, is to be new. To be new. Thank you so much. That is Latrell Goss. Listen, guys, Latrell Goss just lit the call on fire. One of the newest vice president leaders under dynamic leadership of Executive Vice President Anthony Jackson out there. And I am so grateful. I want to go right on in, and we're going to head back into Atlanta. We left Chi-Town. We're going into Atlanta. This gentleman here, new vice president. We've seen him. We've heard him. And I can tell you, we watched him. I want him to tell his own story. He has, again, under dynamic leadership of a senior vice president, newly promoted, Robin Robinson. We're going to Atlanta, Georgia, under Vice President Kedrick Cofer. Mr. Cofer, are you there? Press star to number 6. Mr. Cofer, and come on in the call. Can you hear us okay? All right, he texted me. I know he's there. Well, we're going to go into the Memphis, Tennessee area. We have another dynamic leader. This leader here has been promoted to regional vice president. Let's do a mic check first, and let's hear, do we have our Miss Erica Stanford on the line? Are you there, Erica? Let's do a check first before we go on in. Press star number 6 to come on in the line. Are you there? Okay. I think I heard Kedrick, and then now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to okay, Erica, well, you are regional VP. At least you're not a regional VP, but you got to let's let the vice president speak first. Mr. Kedrick Cofer, are you there? How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me, Nicola?
Yes, I can hear you okay. So go ahead and share with us your newly promoted vice president. How does it feel? How does it feel for you?
Oh, it feels amazing. First of all, I just want to give it to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, I wouldn't be here today. I want to give it up to my amazing dynamic leader, newly promoted senior vice president, Robin Robinson. I met this young lady when I lost my job in corporate America. I was a retail manager for Wells Fargo for 4 years, and I was a part-time Uber driver. And 20 days after I got terminated, I ended up meeting Robin Robinson at a hair salon, had picked her up and was taking her to Home Goods to do a little shopping. And I kind of overheard her conversation and talking about financial freedom, talking about how many people she's helped, get their credit fixed. And how her credit score was a 512, now it was an 820. So as I was driving to Home Good, I was just about to jump out of my seat because I was just so intrigued of the information that I was hearing as I was traveling. And I tell you, Robin literally changed my life. It's just been a blessing to be able to meet a dynamic leader such as Robert Robinson, who cares about people, who's selfless. Who just, going to be there for you through thick and thin. And I just thank God for her. I thank God for you, Dr. Nicola Smith, and you and your husband, Robert Jackson, for y'all spirit of excellence. I had some, challenges coming up to being a vice president, and and I was able to overcome those challenges. And I just thank you and Robert and Robin, for helping me and assisting me through those challenges. And I tell you, with this business, this business literally changed my life. I was broke. I didn't have no money. I was living from paycheck to paycheck. I was working for a financial institution, and I couldn't even get no money from them because my credit was bad. So I had a lot of different challenges facing me when I got terminated with this job. But I tell you, after I got into FES and, the first few months, I wasn't coachable. I wasn't teachable. I was doing whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't listening to my leadership. And I can remember, that 5th month when I was running for sales director, I had a conversation with Robin, and she said, look, you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. She said, you're selling suits, you're doing Uber, and you're trying to do FES all at the same time. And she said, if you just stay laser focused with FES can take you to the top, and you'll be able to buy your own suit company. You better do whatever you need to do financially if you just stay focused in this business. And I tell you, Dr. Nicola, I got focused in that 5th month, and then I ran from that 5th month all the way to my 12th month. And in my 12th month, me and my team, we had over 155,000 in sales this month by being laser focused. So I just thank God for Robin Robinson for having that conversation that day. I wasn't offended. I thank God that she shared that information with me. And when she shared that information, it literally changed my life. Me and my wife are just so amazed about what God is doing in our lives. And, I want to give it up, for my wife too, Michelle Cofer. She's doing a phenomenal job with this company. We both on this team together, iron sharpens iron. And it's just been an amazing ride. It's been really an amazing ride. And I just, I'm in awe right now. I just thank God for this opportunity.
Wow. And, just the thing, Kedra, I want people to hear. You got to pull out the nuggets. There are so many golden nuggets in one story. We went from one gentleman who got terminated from his job to another gentleman who got terminated from his job and picked up a side hustle. He started driving Uber. You had a leader who was working in the Uber, and he was able to overhear that there's an opportunity, a way out. In the very beginning, like everyone, the trail guy said it best, be new. And then now we're here with the next vice president who said, you know what, I was new, but I wasn't coachable. And my leader had to tell me some things that maybe I didn't like. Do you understand that coachable means easily trained? Well, most people are programmed not to be easily trained, especially if you are coming out of a job where you had a boss. You say, I didn't leave a job with the boss to get another boss / upline, but they don't know the difference that when you have a leader who is courageous enough to tell you that, listen, the way you're going is not taking you to your spot at the top, and you're open and you're willing, even if you started having success, and they say, that's not the way you do that. You heard Mr. Corbett said, I wasn't offended. I just had to listen. She said, you know what? You're doing too much, but you're not focused. But once you begin to get focused, my, what has happened? Life changes. Being coachable, being focused, being able to take correction. And wow, Mr. Cofer, that's huge. You're able to take correction from a leader. Doesn't matter that she's a woman. It matters that she was putting you on the right track to win. I commend you and your dynamic leadership and your wife, Ms. Cofer. I've watched you guys. We travel. You guys show up. All these different cities. You wanted it. You got it. You deserve it. Did you want to share anything else with the leaders? I want you to, maybe share with them as far as from the prospecting. You were cold prospected and you pretty much volunteered yourself, but what would you share? Because I know that you and your wife, you've had trainings and you've even had to participate in live demonstration of what to do or what to say, maybe to someone who don't know about the FBS opportunity. Can you give us even maybe a quick script or maybe a short line of what would you say if you saw someone that looked like they may be a good candidate for the financial education services opportunity or services, either one. What would you say to someone? Go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nicola. Basically, what I do, my motor operation, like I say, I'm doing this full time now, so I don't work for anybody but myself. But just going to the grocery store, I always, take my business cards with me when I go, out and about, my normal day. And basically, what I do is, I see a person and, I might, compliment them, like, man, that's a nice jacket that you got on. And he said, okay, thank you. And then basically what I say, hey, my name is Chief Kofer. I said, do you mind me giving you a business card? You might know somebody that appreciate what I do. And basically, they'll say something like, okay, so what do you do? And I say, I help people get excellent credit. And then they say, oh, you do? I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, who do you know with less than perfect credit? And 9 times out of 10, they would say me. And I said, okay, so my business card is really just the icebreaker because 9 times out of 10, when you speak to someone, you give them your business card and then you leave and you don't get their information. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to call you back. So my business card is really just an icebreaker to break the ice, to have that conversation, to build that rapport with that person. And once I build that rapport, I give them my information and I make sure that I get their information in my contact. So basically what I say, once I give them my information, I say, hey, look, if you don't mind, can I have your number? I want to put your number in my phone. So when you call me, I know exactly who I'm speaking with. So by saying that, I get their number. Once I get their number, my thing is I'll never talk about the business per se, because I'm busy and I tell the gentleman, hey, I know you're busy and I'm busy too. So I stop the conversation right now because I don't want to say anything else. I want to have a 2-minute conversation and I'm out of there because I'm always busy and I know the next person is always busy too. So once I get their information, then I take off and I say, hey, I'll give you a call a little bit later. I got some great information I want to share with you. And then I leave on that spot, because here's the thing. You don't want to talk yourself out of a prospect. You always want to make sure that you're always busy and you're always moving. And like you always say, Nicola, success loves speed. So we always move. We constantly moving at all times. So I tell someone, if you're cold prospecting out there, don't try to tell the person about the business. Don't try to do a 1 through 10 overview. Be very short and be very frank about, what you're doing. Talk to them a little bit about the business, get their information, and then you leave. And then you go follow with them a little bit later because I always know that the money is in the follow-up. So you definitely want to follow with everybody that you come in contact with. And I learned this, with my old network marketing back in the day, that the 3-foot rule is everybody that you talk to that comes 3 foot of you, you talk about your business. And as, Senior Vice President Robin Robinson always tell me, never be a secret agent. Always tell people about your business. And once you tell people and expose people about what you do, your business can go to the next level.
Wow, wow, wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. Once I heard you just share my most favorite code prospecting script ever. We train that thing there. Hey, you got to compliment them. You got to compliment them. Find something to compliment them. Do you mind me giving you my business card? You may know someone who'd appreciate what I do. Well, what do you do? I help you get excellent credit. Listen.
Amen.
It's so cold. I close people at the bar, and I don't even really drink. Listen, I close people in the line in the bank with those kinds of Christmas. I'm so excited to hear that. And then also always be busy. You got to have that breaking communication. You're moving. You got somewhere to go.
Yes.
But you got to collect the lead. The biggest mistake people do is try to give out their business card at networking events, and they just passing out cards. Listen, they're never going to call you. Very seldomly they're going to call you. You got to collect the lead and do it with speed. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Vice President Deidre Hofer. Congratulations, guys. Listen, there were 26 new vice presidents. Alyssa Barnes, congratulations. Barry Ward, Bill Connolly, Billy Scott, Denisha Forrest, Davion Morris, Dana Simfa, Eugene Fanfan, Evan Rose, Felicia Guidry, St. Victor, Hanzo Dennis, James Suffield, Jeff Joseph, Kedrick Cofer, you just heard from him, Latasha Rozier, Latrell Garth, you heard from him, Lavore Robinson, Melanie Perry, Odine Lawrence, Tabam Martin, Terrence Brooks, Nabi Alphonse, Tony Perez, Willie Charles, and Xavier Marrero. Congratulations. Those are all the vice president team. Listen, guys, it's going to be explosive what's going to happen in this year. We're welcoming you to get into that group, and I'm going here now to our last caller that leads us to that regional vice president. Remember, I shared with you guys, you got to do at least $250,000 in sales volume. This lady here is on fire. Again, as our vice president team is growing, it's such an honor to be able to hear the next wave of leaders that's coming. They're hungry, they're thirsty, but they're serving. They're open. And I want you guys to know, as you're growing into your vice presidentship, whatever, everything you do to win now, keep doing it to stay winning. Just as excited as you come on the call, sharing your heart, being open to help someone else. Never, ever, ever, ever stop doing that. Here I am now, Senior Executive Vice President, and I'm going to do what it took to win to stay winning. I got to go on to this winner right here out of the Memphis, Tennessee area. I was on this young lady's call, her team call, where she was like, look, it's the whole team. Midnight, pass out call. And what I love about her, she said, you know what? I'm just going to ask. Can't hurt to ask. She asked me to be on the line. She asked our co-founder, Mr. Paramount Knight, to be on the line. And that call was just amazing. Bless my soul. I want to go on into, like I said, Memphis, Tennessee, to newly promoted regional vice president. So excited for this young lady, emerging leadership, Miss Erica Sanford. Erica, are you there?
I'm here, Nicola. How are you?
Hey, we're going to wrap this up with you. I'm so excited for your success. And, how does it feel? I ask that question because for some people, we got to do a checkpoint. Is there something different that happened that I've now elevated to another level? We have to take inventory. So tell me, how do you feel, regional vice president?
I feel great, Nicola. I feel good. I feel the same way I did actually at Field Trainer, but I just have a lot more people rocking with me that I definitely appreciate them for all their efforts, so I feel amazing.
Erica, that's a good point right there. You felt how you felt when you were a field trainer. It's so important that you continue to be a field trainer as you are helping to create field trainers, no matter how you go. I loved it. That's our vice president. It's Alicia Gaines. She shared that I'm a field trainer every week. So about that, being a field trainer, because some people probably just hit sales director and they've forgotten that you have to continue to build your business, that the first 2 people you enroll in your business are not the one that's taking you to your spot at the top, or the first 20 is not the one. Talk about that for us, Miss Erica.
Definitely, Nicola. And I just want to give it back to you first up for even having me on the call. It's definitely a pleasure to be on the line with you. And again, congratulations on all of your success at hitting the top of the comp plan. I feel like that is amazing. And you're just doing some wonderful things, and your servant leadership is impeccable. And I just want to also, give it back to my senior regional VP now, Mr. Alfred Nixon, Nicola, because if it wasn't for him and my sister, I don't even know where I'd be right now. Field trainer for me, I went there in my first 24 hours, got my first 5 people. And I'm kind of like I'm not going to say a hot-headed person, but I'm just the type of person where if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it and I'm going to go in. So when I got started as field trainer, after my 5 people, I was hungry. I was just focusing on constantly getting more people, to the point where, I'll be honest with people, like I didn't know anything about the back office. I didn't know anything about structure. I didn't know anything, but I had a story that it had worked for me, and I knew how much it cost for people to get started, and I knew how much we got paid. That's all I knew. And so I was able to just go out and sign people up on that alone. And so I was practicing on becoming a field trainer every single day. Because I'm like, if I can go out and get 5 people, I got my first 5 people and accumulated me a cool little check for the next week. So I'm like, I wonder how this would be if I actually do that every day. The excitement that I had when I achieved my first 5 people just is what carried me throughout my whole business, is because you got to stay motivated to keep doing it. And I just remember my motivation that day when I went in the nail shop and started talking to everybody in the whole nail shop, people that didn't even know me, about what it had done for me and how it had changed my life in such a short amount of time. So I tell people all the time, in your business, you got to make sure that, like the gentleman just said before, that you're not being a secret agent, that you telling people about this all the time, no matter where you at, and also making sure that you training the people on your team to help people get the field trainer. The excitement when you get your first win, I know a lot of people can agree with me on that. It's like you just feel really, really accomplished, especially when, most of the time, especially people that work a job, they can get their first win at work and they're not even celebrated. So just think about how much here, if you hit field trainer every day, the type of celebrations that you get and the type of lives that you will be changing in the midst of just hitting field trainer. And then I feel like, too, Nicola, that a lot of people take the focal point away from everybody started at field trainer. I started at field trainer, you did, Alfred did, Ashley. Everybody started with their first 5 people. If you don't get those first 5 people and go field trainer, you cannot properly build a business. So I feel like that's important, to maintain that excitement from field trainer. And if you do that and spread it like wildfire through your team, it's not going to have a choice but to grow.
Wow. Man, these are huge nuggets. I love this. Is called experiential learning, where you're learning through the experience of somebody's story, or maybe experience of doing something, versus it just being a straight classroom. I know for myself, I've learned the most with that, because these stories will stick with you. When you're hearing from right now this young lady who's a former hairstylist, who now is doing major moves, and said, you know what, I didn't know everything. I know even our prior company, the first million was, we called it ignorance on fire. We just had our story, and we had the guts enough to share it with everyone. And so you heard our regional vice president say, you know what, I had my story, and I was in a nail shop, and I just began to share my story. All I knew was my story, my passion, and I knew what did it cost to get started. And now she is a regional vice president. Now she is training trainers. Now she is making it happen in a big way. But more importantly, she said, you know what? I'm always going to be a field trainer. And so don't ever forget your first win. That's what you need to do. If you're brand new and you don't have your first 5 and your services are not free, you don't have the proper foundation installed for you to win or have success with FES. You know, Erica, we know we're going to be having you back because you have been having you just give me a lot of life. I love your joke, your spirit, but then I love that go-getterness. I love both of those things together. That is like crazy.
Thank you,
and
Nicole.
so, of course, under the dynamic leadership of our youngest senior regional vice president, Mr. Alfred Nixon, I am very excited as we're going on into here. You know, regional vice presidents, guys, we had 12 of those in the month of March. Erica just set it off. You know, I don't know, guys, did you remember Ajaya Hungo? Remember she was the newly promoted vice president in the month of March? Well, she hit regional vice president too in the month of March. 2 promotions in 1 month. Anthony Camilleri, Ashanti Odom, Bobby Kim, Danielle Carlton, Ebony Regis, Erica Sanford, Greg and Daniela Crevasor, Marlon Hester, Morgan Hardman. Well, that's Hardman Nixon, I'm sure. That is the wife of course, the Senior Regional Vice President, Alfred Nixon, and Shamiko Cole and Valesky Morosi. Those are all of our newest regional vice presidents. So off the chain. Thank you so much, Erica. This has been a dynamic call, guys. As we are leading out, right? We're about to close out this call. I got to acknowledge, right? We had 12 new regional vice presidents, but 5 executive vice presidents. You know, when I look at this list here and I'm saying, wow, that's all I can say is wow. What's wow backwards? Wow. Crazy. 5 executive vice presidents, people whose business did at least $500,000 in sales. You got Miss Amina Rashid, Mr. Anthony Jackson, Mrs. Denikia Taylor, Mr. Michael Burgos, and Ms. Toy Jones. Super excited for all those new executive vice presidents. And then senior vice presidents, guys. We had 3 new senior vice presidents. I can tell you their business done over $1 million in sales. And when you see people are using the pace to win the race, and when they're well over $1 million in sales way before the month ends, it's extremely exciting to see that. You know, the power of duplication. People are making it happen. We had 3 of those. Senior Vice President, Mr. Bruce Rochester, Ms. Rebecca, you want to say, people know her as Mama Jean. That's Mr. Wayman and Mama Jean Gibson, Senior Vice President, and Ms. Robin Robinson, Senior Vice President for the month of March. And then we had 2 dynamic Senior Regional Vice Presidents. These 2 gentlemen have been setting the pace, making amazing things happen in our company. Both of them business doing over $2.5 million in sales. Mr. Alfred Nixon and Mr. Ashton Henry, super excited for their success. And guys, Senior Executive Vice President, myself, we couldn't do it without all of these leaders. I'm extremely humbled. I haven't been able to even take time to say, wow, what does it mean to be a senior executive vice president at the top of the comp plan for financial education services? Hadn't been able to take full inventory of what does that mean, but this is what I do know. I do know that first will indicate that there's a next and a next and a next and a next. And in this industry of network marketing, we welcome next. That's telling you the proof is in the pudding when there is a next. This is not corporate America where there should only be a one. The first should never be the last in this industry. That would mean that the system is broken. The system is not working. So I encourage you guys to, whether from down very beginning, Everyone needs to be a field trainer, just like our Regional Vice President Eric Stanford just shared. But when you keep doing that over and over and over and over, the same thing you do at the bottom is what you got to do to get to the top. And when you get there, don't ever, ever, ever forget how you felt when you were trying to get there. Keep your heart, your hands clean. Make sure that you never forget that there are people out there. When you start hearing these leaders and these stories, there are people out there with stories of pain that we as leaders have an obligation to help them win. Whenever you have the opportunity to share your story, whenever you have the opportunity to train or give a nugget, give somebody else hope to go to the next level, count that a privilege, never a burden as a leader. Very excited for what's happening here at FES. And we know that this is just the beginning. Unstoppable, unbreakable, unshakable. Guys, take care. Let's make it a powerful month of helping people, right? Share your story. Be coachable. And keep having your first win over and over and over. Guys, thank you, leaders, for what you shared on tonight. You blessed my soul. Guys, have an amazing rest of your month. See you on the cruise.